To be finishing the canvas cookie music box today, and what you're going to need is your canvas. The tacky glue has already been put on it the night before and it is dried. You're going to need your foam from Michael's. There's sticky foam. You're going to need the styrofoam and of course your cookie cutter. And I have made little round legs to go on the bottom of this so it stands up. And I put a little post in there. All it is it's a bead that I've gotten in a package of beads, painted it red, and I have a piece of doweling glued in there. And I'm going to cut right up to the edge of my needlepoint stitching. And as again, if you cut a stitch or something, it's not going to come undone because you have the tacky glue on the back. So you can see how close I'm cutting. All right, I've traced my design on like so. Gone around it with a pen. I am cutting it out on the outside edge of the line that I've drawn on there for the shape. The shape is all cut out. I'm going to turn my cookie cutter upside down and I look at it and I think, okay, that's good. I'll get some of that rough edge off here. And put this aside. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on my styrofoam where my music box is going. And I don't know if you can see it, but you can see it on your styrofoam where your music box is going to go. So now I'm going to take my knife and cut that out. All right, I've run my knife all the way through to the other side, and now I'm going to punch out this piece of styrofoam. And you'll notice that this is not connected, so you just have to watch it so you don't lose it. All right, now I'm going to fit this in. I want a nice tight fit. And it fits very nicely. Okay. I'm going to remove the key. It will make it easier to finish. Set that aside. Take my canvas and I am going to put glue all over, including the top of the music box, because we want this to stay in place. And again, you'll take and spread. Make sure you've got your damp paper towel with you, because now you have glue all over your fingers. The glue has been spread all over from edge to edge, as you can see. Now I'm going to take my needlepoint and I'm going to start working it into the cookie cutter, pressing it in all around. As so, and see if you end up with a little bit of an edge showing. This is going to have twisted cord on it. So, and I will just keep working it till I've got it all in there. I've worked in the edges all around, and you can see it fits in there very nicely. Making sure this is flat up against your styrofoam and the top of the box, the music box. There, it's in there. Next step is we're going to work on the backing. We're going to take our shape and we're going to fit it over and place it like so. And then I'm going to give it a, so I know where the key is going to go. Now that I've pressed it and I know where the key is going to go, I'm going to take my knife and very gently make a hole through the side, through the back. I don't want a very big hole, just enough, twirl it like this for the key to go through. Actually, it's the post that's going to go through to the top. And then the key, so we know the key is going there. So I need to make it a little wider. Make sure I can push this key through. There we are, like so. Now for the placement of my feet. And I put the doweling in because I just don't want it glued to here. I want it to go into my styrofoam too. So at this point, I'm going to say I'm going to have a foot here, and a foot here, because this will act as a foot also. So I'm going to take and just do a little X like so. Take this and push it in. And there's one foot and it's in there solid. You can add a little glue, put 4 feet in place. And the reason that you can't use 3 is because it tips and this is down in there and it does not act as a foot like I thought it would. The next thing we're going to do is you choose your ribbon. I've gone with a red polka dot. All the other ones I had with hearts on were just, and as you can see, we're going to place it so that it glues right over that edge. And it's not distracting from the design on top. Take your tacky glue, hold it like this. Don't hold it on the edges because that's where the glue is going to go. It's a bad habit of mine too. And then I ending up with glue all over my fingers. Take it over to the edge like that, and up there, leaving this edge free of glue. Push it back on, it needs to dry. I'm going to take and spread this so it's covered. And if I get a little glue there, I can always wipe that off with a damp paper towel. And around and around. So we know we've got good glue coverage on this. All right, so now you can see it's all covered with glue. Next step is we're going to put the ribbon on. This is my 7/8 inch ribbon. And since I want where it joins hidden, I'm going to start right at the bottom and start working my ribbon around, leaving that edge showing. And it is still attached to my spool because with all these little ins and outs, I do not want to come up short by cutting a length of ribbon off that and then trying to fit it on and finding out it is too small. So I'm going to make sure it goes over the edge of my styrofoam so it hides it, like so. As you can see, I've got some glue there, but I'll take a damp washcloth and remove it after I'm all done, making sure that all the little bumps, it goes down in the crevices. Okay, now comes time to cut it. And I will cut a little more off than what I need. And I will press it down in, and I will take a look and make sure that all is nice and tight on the cookie cutter. Make sure I'm right at that edge, not over it. So you've got to, all right, so everything is tucked in nicely. Now I'll lift this up and I can see where I need to cut because the glue is on there. Cut that little piece off and push it down, and there it meets. And there we have our, make sure it's level it out so the feet, all 4 feet are on the ground, like so. And make sure everything is tucked in there, like so. Like so, that's a good expression. You'll probably hear me use more of it as we go along. Make sure that's pressed down. And my next step will be adding the twisted cording around this edge. I've placed the glue all the way around, including right on my stitching there where I want a twisted cord that I forgot. I'm going to start with the good end of my twisted cording. And I'm going to start, I always look and think, okay, where is the least noticeable place? And the least noticeable place is going to be down at that point. So I'm going to start by just working it around, making sure I get it where I want, tapping it in place with my finger. I'm not a professional finisher, never claimed to be, but Annie and I feel that we need to be able to finish. When we say it's self-finishing, you better be able to finish it and get a good result. Get that little push down in there. This glue dries clear, so there isn't a problem. I look at it from different angles to make sure I've got it in where I want. I'm ready to cut this edge, and I will grab my scissors and do that. Ready to cut this piece of twisted cord that you're going to say it's going to fray. Well, I cut down just about this far, and yes, you see how it's frayed there. And I lift up using a toothpick or a needle this end here. Taking this, I will give it a shove down in there, a little bit past the point. Trim that raw edge down a little bit more since you've shoved it down into the edge of the cookie cutter, like so. Bring this edge back and right over the top. Give it a little shove on top of there. And that's one side. I have taken my toothpick and the glue and put it around this edge here. Now I'm going to take my brown, which is my background color, and I'm going to start working from this edge out. Making my little turn there for the other part of the heart. Gotten it all the way around, and I'm going to give this little end a little tuck right there, making sure it sticks with the glue. Taking my toothpick again, or my fingers, and you can see a little white glue there. That's all going to dry clear. I take a little bit of that excess off the edge. Now I'm to that point again. I'm going to cut away from where I want to tuck. So you can see it comes unraveled a little bit. So I'm going to give it its little tuck, right? Give it a little push down in there with the glue. Then I'm taking my scissors. You can wait till this dries if you like, just to make sure. And I just trim the brown thread and make sure its loose ends are shoved down in there, because I don't want any loose ends in this things. showing up in fuzzy. It's the problem with glue, everything sticks to you. All right, we have now completed our music box.